Hey, what's up friends? This is James Hardy. Welcome back to another Power Flow Yoga class. We are going to dial in our strength, flexibility, balance, and then the piece that ties it all together, mindfulness. Let's get started in child's pose. So come back and do a tabletop on your mat. Just have your hands right underneath your shoulders, and then take your knees out wider towards the edges of your mats. Have the tops of the feet to the ground and bring your big toes together. Drop your sit bones back to your heels. Your forehead goes out down to the ground and your arms are lengthened out in front of you, and you want to feel just rested into this shape. And then we're going to do an organized breath warm-up. So in Sanskrit, this is called Dirgha Pranayama, and pranayama just means breath control. This one is a 3-part breath control practice. So join me, release your air all the way down to empty. Breathe into your low belly for 1, 2, 3, and hold. Breathe into your mid-abdomen, 1, 2, 3, and hold. Breathe all the way to your chest, all the way to your shoulders. Once you've got your full breath, just hold and relax. And then exhale for 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome, let's do that again. Breathe in low belly, low back. And hold. Breathe in mid-abdomen, mid-back. And hold. Breathe all the way to your chest, all the way to your shoulders. Once you've got your full breath, just hold and relax. And then exhale 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll start Ujjayi breathing. So inhale slow and deep through your nose, from the bottom to the top, like you're sipping the air in through a straw, engaging the muscles in the back of your throat. And then exhale slowly out your nose like you're fogging up a mirror, using those same muscles in the back of the throat. As you work this Ujjayi breathing, you want to hear the sound of ocean waves in your head. That's a way that you know you have this breath down. And then this is the breath that we're going to use for the rest of our practice. So as I always say, just take what works for me, leave the rest behind, and allow your breath to be your guide. Right on. For the last couple rounds of breath in child's pose, just press your hands forward into the ground, lifting your elbows slightly off the mat so you press your sit bones closer back to your heels. On an inhale, lift up into tabletop. And then we're going to start to work into cat and cow. If you know where you're going, just launch right into it. If you're not familiar, cow is where you drop through the belly, lift through the chest. And then cat is where you round your back. So mid-back pulls up high, weight of the head releases down. Now you could inhale to cow, exhale to cat, or you can change it up how you want. You might hold it a little bit longer before you move on to the next one. You might shift a little forwards or a little bit backwards in these two shapes. So it's a really great opportunity just to kind of explore and warm up through the hips, back, shoulders, neck. Let your breath lead the way for that movement. So as you're doing that deep, slow, controlled breath, you're getting this controlled movement, this fluid movement. Right on, and then we're going to wrap that up and just find a neutral, flat back, hands and knees. From here, extend your right arm forward and then reach your left leg backwards. So as you reach your right arm forward and your left leg backwards, let the pinky go down and the thumb go up so your right hand's high-fiving the left wall. And then press back through your left heel like you're touching the wall behind you and lift that heel up on level with your hip. And then on your next exhale, we're going to bring the elbow knee in towards us as you round your back like cat. Again, inhale, open back up, extend. And exhale, bring elbow knee in, round your back. Inhale, open up, extend. And then exhale, round in. Use that inhale to open back up, re-extend. And then we'll create a bind where you bend your back left knee, bringing your heel to your sit bone, and then reach your right hand to the top of the foot, grabbing along the inside edge. Start to engage your bind, so as you kick backwards, it pulls your arm taut and slightly lifts your chest up. And then as your foot kicks into your hand, your back knee will lift up on level with your hip. And just find that nice lift up through your chest, find that length through the back of your neck, and stay with your breathing, friends. Nice, find one more inhale, breathe into it. And on that exhale, open back up, re-extend, and come back down into your tabletop. Walk your knees out a little bit wider, and we're going to do thread the needle with your left arm. So root into your right palm and draw your left arm up in space. Just give a little roll out through your wrist while that left hand is up there. Breathe in to lift up through your left hand, and on your next exhale, just dive the left arm underneath the right, and then bring your shoulder and the side of your head all the way down into the ground. For thread the needle, you want to leave your hips up above your knees in space. And then your right hand or forearm can just come out a little bit and press into the ground, so you're pressing away and you're pressing yourself back into your left shoulder. And then of course, just working through that slow, deep breath. Awesome, just press your right hand to the ground, inhale your left arm from underneath, reach and extend up tall, twist open, and as you exhale, come back down into your tabletop. We'll switch things out on that little teeter-totter move, so now it's going to be your left arm forward and your right leg backwards, and again, your pinky down, thumb up, and you're pressing your heel back to the wall behind you, lifting the foot up on level with your hip. Once you feel that length and that strength, breathe in, and on an exhale, elbow knee come in as you round the back like cats. Inhale, open back up, re-extend. Exhale, elbow knee in, round back. Last one, inhale, open back up. Exhale, round in. So use your inhale to open back up, hold it, and we're going to work into this bind. So bend your back knee, bring your heel to your sit bone, and then reach your left hand back for the top of the foot, grabbing along the inside edge. Start to kick the foot into the hand so it pulls your arm taut, chest lifts up, and then start to pull back against the foot and lift that back knee up on level with your hip. So it's kind of like you're going into more of a cow shape here. You can focus your gaze out in front of you on an object that's not moving and just stay with your breath. Nice, one more inhale into that bind, and on your exhale, open back up, re-extend, come down into your tabletop. Awesome. We're going to meet back into a plank position. If your wrists need a little roll out after that movement, maybe just come back to your sit bones real quick, give a roll out through your wrists. And then meet back up in your plank. So toes to the back of your mat, hips up on level with your shoulders, hugging to your core muscles, palms underneath your shoulders, and then if your elbows are locked, add a micro bend. It's a really subtle difference. It's just they're not locked, they have that micro bend. Muscles are engaged around your joint. And let your biceps hug in towards center line. On an exhale, you're just going to do a push-up, lower halfway down. This is Chaturanga Dandasana. Lead forward with your sternum. Inhale, lift back up, then shift back into down dog. You can always do push-ups, those yoga push-ups on your knees with your ankles crossed as well, friends. Just like you see a dog do when they get up off the ground, you're pushing into the hands. That's the dog pushing into the front paws. And then reaching your hips back and up in space. And I've got both of my knees bent a little bit just as I'm lengthening my spine. But then I want you to walk the dog out. Drop your weight to one heel while you bend through opposite knee, just working between your left and your right side. Spread into the circle of your palm, distributing the weight into the circle of your palm. Spread into your fingers and give a little bit of a grip. And then you're lengthening through your arms, but they are micro bent, and your biceps are toned in towards center line. Hips are up tall, and now let your heels equally pull down to the ground back behind you. Nice, friends. Let's inhale the right leg up to a three-legged down dog. So just extend your right leg back and up in space like you're pressing back through your heel. Nice diagonal line, and on an exhale, you're going to bring your shoulders above your hands and your right knee to your left elbow or tricep, and you're holding it in. Breathing into those core muscles that are holding you up and in. Into those chest muscles and arm muscles and back muscles, you got it. Inhale, reach back up, three-legged down dog. And on an exhale, now bring the right knee to your right elbow or tricep. Shoulders right above your hands, holding up nice and strong. Use that breath to dig in. Inhale, back up, three-legged down dog. And on your exhale, bring your knee to your forehead, forehead into your knee. Let your hips lift up high and your back heel is off the ground. You're on the ball of that foot. Inhale, one more three-legged down dog. Extend the right leg. Exhale, low lunge position. Okay, get a nice long stance, and then for warrior two, drop the knife edge of your left foot to the ground. Reach left arm back, extend your right arm forward. For warrior two, don't feel like you need to lean forward through your spine. Your spine is straight up in space. Your right sit bone's underneath your body, your right knee is over your heel, and there's a nice bend in that leg. You're strong around that knee through the leg muscles. Your glute is hugging back up away from it. Press down strong into that back left foot, and then to stabilize, let your thighs tone into center. Open your arms up, and then release your shoulder heads away from your ears, so we just open up the posture here. Gaze is over your front fingertips. Nice breathing. Breathe into your warrior two, and on your exhale, go to extended side angle pose, so root your right forearm to your right thigh, lift your left arm up in space. Gaze can go up to your left hand or to your left wrist. Avoid that left hip popping up in space, pull it down on level with your right, lift away from that right thigh through your inner right side body. And just enjoying your breath and the pose. Come back to warrior two, we'll set up triangle. If you're working with a block, you could take your block on level 2 or 3 to the outside of your right ankle. If you don't have a block, no worries. Lengthen out your right leg, press to your foot, draw your hips back. Arms are like warrior two, breathe in, and as you exhale, reach as far forward as you can, and then tilt down. If you've got the block, your palm can go to it. If not, you could do your hand to your shin, your fingertips to the floor on the outside of the ankle, or you could press the inside of that wrist, or the back of your wrist rather, the inside of that right ankle. Either way, notice your left arm is going straight up to the sky, just creating this really nice open wingspan. Crown of the head is reaching forward, so watch that your head's not falling down, it's reaching forward. Hips are drawing back, so your spine is a crossbar here. And then you're strong with your legs, and get strong around that front right knee. Get a little bit of engagement around it with the muscles. I love triangle. Okay, inhale back up, warrior two, and then we're going to do reverse warrior. So right palm to the sky, left hand to your hip thigh or behind you. And then reach your right arm straight up as you press into your lunge, so you're getting that big lift through your hip crease. You can bend your elbow, let your arm reach to the back of the room, and your gaze could come up in space. Your head could fall back a little bit, so your left ear drops a little more to your left shoulder. Find your breathing. Right on, so breathe into it, and on your next exhale, you're going to cartwheel your hands down and take a low lunge position. So turn onto the ball of the left foot, both hands frame your right. From here, we're going to step up into chair pose, Utkatasana. So left foot meets your right, and then your sit bones reach back in space. Think about a skier tucking down a mountain, but then your chest lifts up, and we're going to take your arms up. You could also pull your arms back if you want to have more of a goalpost shape. So as you're taking that squat, you're sitting back in space, lifting up through your arms. We want to strengthen around our knees, so feel the strength of your lower legs, upper legs, strength of your glutes. Get your core engaged, wrapping around that low back and the front belly, and then let your shoulder blades gently tone in towards one another. Okay, bring your hands to your chest, nice deep inhale. And now on your exhale, we're going to take a twist over to the right. So just bring your left elbow and press it onto the top outside of your right thigh. And then you're trying to twist open as you press down into that right thigh, letting your chest face to the right side of the room. And you're trying to lift your sternum on the same level that the knuckles of your thumbs are at. If your left knee is swiveling forward or crashing in, line it back up where it just was. So if you had skis on, they're going straight down the mountain. And if you practice with big toes together, friends, we want big toes, ankle bones, knees, and thighs all pressed in right at center. That's a great way to do chair as well. Open your arms up if you'd like. So right arm extends to the sky, left arm opens up on the outside of that right thigh. I'm just kind of pressing the top of my forearm right below my elbow, just right into the edge of that thigh on the outside. And the whole time, right, you're working out Ujjayi breathing. You guys got it. Okay, perfect. So breathe in here, and on your next exhale, take a forward fold. Inhale halfway up, so press your hands to your shins, bend your knees slightly, and then lengthen your spine. If you were doing a bent over row in the gym where you were lifting weights up off the ground, let your shoulder blades tone in towards the top. So you're strengthening around that upper spine. Next exhale, let's take a refold, and then vertebrae by vertebrae slowly wind up to standing, letting the head be the last thing that comes up. When your head comes up, inhale the arms wide and tall to mountain, and on your exhale, bring your hands into your heart center. Excellent. Root into your right foot, inhale arms and left knee up, one-legged mountain. So left knee is bent at 90 and your thigh bones plug back into your hips. And then for figure four, you're going to take that left ankle and cross it over the top of your right knee as you sit down into one-legged chair. Bring your hands to your chest. You could also do one hand to knee, one hand to heel. Strengthen that left ankle, so find flexion through your left foot. Point your heel over the right wall, flex your toes back in. Let your left knee gently flex down. And then try to fix your gaze on an object that's not moving in front of you. And rather than kind of collapsing through your chest here, curving the spine, get that nice posture that we like to do in chair here, lifting up as you sit back into it. Awesome breathing. If you fall out of it, no worries, just try again. Okay, so from that, you're going to inhale to rise back up into your one-legged mountain, bringing your arms and your left knee. You can extend your left leg forward if you like. And then on your exhale, just bring the foot to the ground, take your hands into your heart center, just to standing. Inhale to reach up to mountain, and on the next exhale, hinge out from your hips and swan dive down into your forward fold. Inhale halfway up, lengthen the spine. And then plant the hands, step back to a plank. You could go right to down dog, or we could exhale halfway down, and then this time press to the tops of the feet, inhale upward facing dog. You could also replace this with a low cobra, and then eventually meet in down dog. Now up dog, if you're not familiar, press to the tops of the feet and the hands in this back bend, so hips and thighs are off the ground. As we return to down dog, friends, get back into the shape of it. Get into the circle of your palm, spread out through your fingers. Relax your head, tone your biceps in. Hips lift back up high and then pull down through your heels with that breathing. Okay, next inhale sends the left leg back and up in space to a three-legged down dog. Nice diagonal line from your hands all the way back up through your heel. The front of your left hip bone is pointing down and back. And to not sink into your right hip, what I like to think about is like you're stamping your heel up to the wall, back up high on the wall. Next, exhale, bring your knee over to your right elbow or tricep, shoulders above your hands, Hold in, lift up through the core. Watch that the hips aren't sinking here. You got it. Inhale, reach back up, three-legged down dog. And on the exhale, bring your knee over to your left elbow or tricep, shoulders above your hands. Hold in with that core. Nice. Inhale, back up, three-legged down dog. And then exhale to bring your knee to your forehead, forehead to your knee, back right heel lifts high. One more inhale to a three-legged down dog. And on your exhale, step up to your low lunge position. Get a nice long stance from the front of the mat to the back. And then for warrior two, drop the knife edge of your right foot to the ground. Your right toes point to the right. Bring your right arm backwards and your left arm forwards. Spine is straight up in space. Left sit bone is tucked underneath your body. You're pointing your left knee and your left toes forward. Left knee's over your heel. Grip down into the left foot. Fire up the muscles of your leg to support that knee. Let your glute hug up and back. Strong press off your right leg. Tone your thighs in. And then get that posture through your upper spine, letting the shoulder heads release down as you extend out through your fingertips, nice and long. Nice, breathe into it. Then exhale, extended side angle pose. Left forearm, left thigh, right arm pulls up in space. Take your gaze up where your hand or wrist is reaching. You don't have to look right at it, you could kind of look beyond it. If the right hip is popping up, again, let that right hip come down on level with your left. And that lift of your inner left side body away from the left thigh as you're leaning in. Okay, inhale to your warrior two. Lengthen out your left leg for triangle. If you're using your block, you can place it onto the outside of your ankle to level 2 or level 3. With that leg lengthened, reach the arms back like warrior two. Breathe in. Exhale to extend forward in space. And then left hand down to your block or to your shin or fingertips to the outside or a fist or a palm to the ground on the outside of your ankle. Or you can take the back of the left hand inside of your ankle. Right arm is straight up in space. You might twist your gaze a little bit up where your hand is reaching, or just look to the right. Your spine is that crossbar, crown of the head is forward, hips are drawing back. And then strengthen around that left knee as you're pressing to your foot, drawing your hips back. And I love when you're doing this deep breathing in these poses, because there's so much stuff that you just get to dial into and you get to be aware of. It's a big piece, maybe the piece of what yoga is and mindfulness is just having awareness. Right on. So inhale back up to your warrior two, and then we'll reverse our warrior. So right hand to your hip thigh or tucking it back behind you, lifting your left arm up. You can bend that left elbow, reach the fingers back, and your gaze goes up. So note that reverse warrior is not a back bend where you're leaning back in space. Your spine is pretty much straight up. It's your head that might fall back a little bit. Keep strong in those legs. Keep into your lunge. Nice. Breathe in. And on your next exhale, cartwheel your hands down to frame your left foot. Turn onto the ball of the right. And then you're going to bring it into chair. So step your right foot up to meet your left. Lift your arms up. Drop your sit bones back into that squat. And your arms can go a little bit wider as you need to facilitate your shoulder blades gently coming together back behind you in space. And again, I said this when we were in the middle of the pose last time, but you can also do this with your big toes, ankle bone, knees, and thighs all pressed into center as well. Okay, take your hands into your heart center. Palms together, breathe in. And on your exhale, we'll take the twist to the left. So your right elbow to the top outside of your left thigh. And then again, you're pressing into the thigh with the elbow to twist your chest open. Shoot to lift your sternum to the same height as the knuckles of your thumbs. And then keep your awareness on that right leg that it's not spinning forward or collapsing. Keep it nice and strong. We can open this up here so your right arm opens on the outside of your left leg. Left arm can reach straight up in space. pulling that left shoulder back, staying with your breathing. One more inhale, and as you exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up, lengthen through your spine. On your exhale, refold, and then we'll do a ragdoll frame. So opposite hand grabs the outside of opposite elbow or bicep. Feet go to hip bone distance, and then start to gently sway your torso side to side or back and forth. You really want to let your spine release here, so you can always explore bending your knees deeper. You want your elbows really preferably to just be, at shin height here. So if you need to bend your knees a little bit to facilitate the spine folding deeper, please do so. Release the weight of your head and stay with your breath. Nice, and just release the weight of your arms. Vertebrae by vertebrae, slowly wind up. Head's the last thing to come up. Inhale the arms tall and spaced to mountain. And on the exhale, bring your hands into your heart center. Okay, root into your left foot. Inhale, arms and right knee lift up, one-legged mountain. Right knee is bent at 90, thigh bones plugged into your hips. And then when you're ready, figure four. So right ankle over the top of your left knee or thigh. Sit back into that one-legged chair. Hands to your heart or one hand to your knee, one hand to your heel. Strengthen your right ankle. Strengthen your right ankle. Point your heel to the left. Let your toes flex back into your shin. And let your knee gently flex down. And stay playful with your balance, guys. If you fall out of it, no worries. Try to find that one spot in front of you that's not moving that you can fix your gaze on. And then use your breath. And rather than letting the shoulders collapse forward, right, you're doing this like chair where you still got that lift up through your chest. Excellent. Okay, inhale back up, one-legged mountain. You can extend now if you want to reach that right leg forward in space. Lifting up through your thigh, pressing out through it. And then on an exhale, just bring your foot to the ground. Take your hands into your chest at standing. Inhale to reach up, mountain, breathe in. And on the exhale, hinge out from your hips and swan dive down into your forward fold. Inhale halfway up, lengthen your spine, strengthen around it. Plant the hands, step back to plank. Exhale halfway down, root to the tops of your feet. Inhale, up dog. Tuck your toes, exhale, down dog. Again, you can always skip that and go to down dog. Or you might have a low cobra in place of that upward facing dog. Now we're going to take that sequence breath to movement. So on an inhale, right leg back up, three-legged down dog. Exhale, knee to left elbow, shoulders above your hands. Inhale, back up, three-legged down dog. Exhale, knee to right elbow, shoulders above your hands. Inhale, three-legged down dog. And exhale, knee to your forehead, back heel goes high. Inhale, three-legged down dog. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, warrior two, so left arm back, right arm forward. And exhale, extended side angle pose, right forearm, right thigh, left arm up. Inhale, warrior two, but straighten out your right leg. And on your exhale, reach forward and tilt down for triangle, maybe hand to your shin. Inhale, reverse your warrior, so paint the sky with that right arm. And on the exhale, low lunge position. Okay, inhale as chair, left foot meets your right. And then on your exhale, hands to your heart center. Your twist is going to be over to the left, right elbow to your left thigh. Inhale to open your arms up. And as you exhale, forward fold. Nice. Inhale, halfway up, lengthen your spine. Exhale, refold. And reverse swan dive. Inhale, wide and tall. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Root into your right knee. Inhale, your arms and your left knee. Lift up in space, one-legged mountain. And exhale, figure four. Left ankle over your right thigh, hands to heart. Inhale, one-legged mountain. You can extend your left leg forward. And then exhale to bring your foot to the ground, hands into your heart center at standing. Here's the other side. Inhale, reach up, mountain. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, and extend and strengthen. Plant the hands, move back to plank. Exhale, halfway down, chaturanga. Root to the tops of your feet. Inhale, up dog. Tuck your toes. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left leg, three-legged down dog. Exhale, knee to your right elbow or tricep, shoulders above hands. Inhale, three-legged down dog. Exhale, knee, left elbow, shoulders above hands. Inhale, three-legged down dog. And exhale, knee to your forehead, back heel lifts high. Inhale, three-legged down dog. And exhale, low lunge. Okay, warrior two on your inhale, right arm back, left arm forward. And then exhale, extended side angle pose. Left forearm, left thigh, right arm lifts. Inhale, warrior two, straighten out your left leg. And on your exhale, triangle, tilt down, reach your arms to the ceiling and the floor. Inhale to reverse your warrior, sweep the sky with your left arm. And exhale, cartwheel down, low lunge position. Okay, inhale, chair, so right foot meets the left, your arms lift, you're in that squat. And on your exhale, bring your hands into your heart center. Your twist is to the right, left elbow to your right thigh. Inhale, open your arms up. And on that exhale, take your forward fold. Inhale, halfway up, lengthen your spine. Exhale, refold. And reverse swan dive. Inhale, arms wide and tall. Exhale, hands into your heart center. Awesome. Okay, root into your left foot. Inhale, arms and right knee lift up, one-legged mountain. And as you exhale, figure four, right ankle over your left thigh, hands into your heart. Inhale, one-legged mountain. You could extend your right leg forward. Exhale, standing, foot to the ground, hands into your heart center. Inhale, reach up to mountain, breathe in, and on the exhale, hinge out from your hips and swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up, lengthen your spine, strengthen around it, plant the hands, move into your plank. Exhale, halfway down, press tops of feet, inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Right on, friends, bring it down to your knees. This is a good time to grab a sip of water, and then we're going to do some work for our core muscles. Good work. So for the core part of my class, some of this is from the traditional yoga practice, and then some of it also comes from more of the fitness background as well, and I weave those two together. We're going to go through a few different moves, and what we'll do is we'll do, inside of each move, each segment, we'll do movements, and then hold, and then the same movements. And I'll explain as we go along. So bring yourself down to your back, lift your legs straight up in space, grab your hamstrings, and lift your head and shoulders so your gaze is forward. Now leave your head and shoulders lifted, but reach your arms forward. Then here's your movement. Reach forward with your left hand, and then reach forward with your right hand. Use your breath. It's like you're trying to touch the top left edge of the mat and then the top right edge of your mat. And this is great for your core. You're also, with this one, getting those oblique muscles fired up, those side body muscles. Okay, for your hold, both arms straight up in space. You could totally do one hand behind the base of your skull to give a little support to your neck. But feel that flexion through your core right here as you lift up. Nice, stay with your breathing. And back to your side to side. Almost there. Nice, last 3, 2, and 1. Okay, release your head down. Plant your feet to the ground so your knees are up in space, kind of like bridge, and then walk your feet out wide to the edges of your mats. Bring your arms out in a T from your chest, palms face down, and then we're going to do windshield wiper motions with our knees onto the inside and outside edges of our feet. So breathe the knees up in space, feet flat to the ground. And your next exhale, we're going to take the knees to the left, so roll onto the outside edge of the left foot, inside edge of the right. Your gaze goes opposite to the right. Inhale, knees back up to center, feet flat to the ground. And as you exhale, take the knees to the right, rolling onto the outside edge of the right, inside of the left, gaze goes to the left. And then you take this over at your own pace. Inhale brings your knees back up. Exhales, takes it to the left or to the right. So you get a little bit of a twist through your spine here, which feels good, but also the leg that's on top and is kind of pressing the inside of that leg closer to the ground, that creates a really nice stretch on the outside of that leg, all the way through around the knee, all the way around the hip. I love that. Okay, we're going to start to wrap this one up and go on to our next core move. This one is going to be a leg lift position. So hands behind the base of your skull, head and shoulders off the ground, low back is pinned to the mat, and legs are at that leg lift, feet together. And then we're going to work through in, up, and downs, and then hold the leg lift, and then in, up, and downs. So in, up, and downs, you inhale your knees in, exhale your legs straight up, and lower back to the diagonal. You've got this. Keep that low back rooted into the ground so you don't need to drop super low. Alrighty, hold your legs on the diagonal. Feel the core muscles engaged, holding the legs up and keeping that low back down. Staying with your breathing. And back into your in, up, and down movement. Nice, almost there. And 3, 2, 1. Nice, bring the feet to the ground. And then we're going to go into reclined cobbler's pose. So bottoms of the feet are together, knees are out wide, your legs are in a diamond shape. You could, if you're working with a block, take it on level 1 and place it underneath your hips just to prop this up. And then just relax your head and your arms in either version. This is Supta Baddha Konasana, so this is reclined bound ankle pose. More popular is that reclined cobbler's pose. The weight of your knees at your sides gently opens the hips, and then your body's just in this really relaxed position. So this is a nice restorative pose. Okay, if your hips are on the block, we're going to press into the feet, lift them off, and slide it out of the way. And then everybody, you can grab onto your hamstrings and rock up to boat pose. Maybe if you like that, do it a couple more times. Back to the base of your skull, up to boat pose. For this next one, we are all going to need some type of object, whether it be a water bottle, a sock, your TV remote, or a block. So in boat pose, you're going to find the weight on the edge of your sit bones and lifting up through your chest. And you can start with your hands behind your hamstrings, lifting up through your chest. So really nice posture. But then grab onto your prop. And the movement, you can join me when you're ready. Just weave it in between your legs. So one thigh lifts as one thigh drops. And you're making the infinity sign with that block, weaving it between your legs or with whatever object you have. Keep lifting up through your chest. Stay with your breathing. We're almost there. Okay, now hold on to your boat pose. Lift up through your chest. Knees could be bent, or you could lengthen your legs. You could also lift your feet up in space. Let your shoulders gently tone back behind you. So just lifting up and supporting that lift up through your chest. And grab your block or whatever it is and do your movement. Do that weave. You got it. Nice, last 3, 2, 1, perfect. Set the block to the side. We're gonna meet up and find a downward facing dog, friends. So a great way to do it is to go into your plank first, and then from your plank, just lift your hips back and up. In down dog, extend back to three-legged down dog. Right leg lifts. And then to make a scorpion tail, lift your knee up high, and then drape your toes down over to the left like your heel's coming into your sit bone. And then you're opening the front of your right hip bone to the right wall. Watch that you're not leaning back to the left. Watch that your left shoulder's not collapsing, or that your left heel is not pointing to the side. It's straight back behind you. And then on an exhale, we're going to step the right foot up to the outside of your right hand for a runner's lunge. From here, you can keep your hands to the ground, or you can bring your forearms down onto the block if you're using it on level 1 or level 2, or you could bring your forearms all the way down to the floor. Today's version, your back knee is lifted, so it looks kind of like you're doing a forearm plank position. And then on the horizontal plane, your elbows are on the same horizontal plane as the inside of your right foot. You want to have your right knee above your right heel. Now you could just pivot with your right heel and shift your right toes a little bit over to the right so it opens the inside of your right hip a little more to the front of the room. But just stabilize that knee above your heel. And then you're staying strong in the hips. So you're not collapsing to the left or to the right or forwards or backwards. You're squaring your hips to the ground and squaring your hips to the front of the room. It's easier to press down into your left elbow. You're trying to get that right elbow to equally press down inside of this. Stay with your breathing, friends. We're almost there. And you don't need any tension in your neck on this one. Nice, press up to your hands, slide that block out of the way, and then we're going to find a high crescent lunge. So once you've got that regular lunge, you just lift right up. Right knee is bent at 90. Let those thighs tone in towards one another. Lift up through your arms. Pinkies are forward, thumbs are back with your hands, so you can pull your biceps back to frame your ears and let your shoulder heads relax down away from your ears on your back. And note, with that back left foot, your heel is off the ground. You're in the ball of the foot. Nice breathing. Okay, we can do a little cactus position with the arms, goalpost. Tone your shoulders in and take a baby back bend. You might drop a little bit lower into that lunge. Again, stabilize and strengthen. And then we're going to rise back up from that baby back bend and then take it all the way up into a one-legged mountain so your left knee lifts up in space. Once you've got that left knee up in space, come back into your figure 4, so left ankle over the top of that right thigh. Strengthen around the ankle, flex your toes in, let your knee flex down. Hands into your chest. And then earlier in class, we did a chair pose twist where we were stacking the tricep to opposite knee, opposite thigh. And then we've done figure 4. We're going to combine the two of those into a twist in figure 4. So with that ankle strengthened, the hands into your heart, let your right hand grab your left elbow and then guide your left elbow into the bottom of the left foot. Make a fist with your left hand, open palm with your right, and then press the right hand into the fist and open towards the right. And if you fall out of it, like I almost just did, just stay playful. It's just a game, friends. Some days it's easier to balance than others. And one big thing with this one, I will say, right, is that gaze is super key for me. I have to find that one spot to focus on, and then once I get that, usually I can fall into the pocket of balance. You could also open your arms up from here, so your right arm could extend up, left arm can open on the outside of the leg. And it might be your forearm, it might be more of your elbow, or it might be more up into the tricep. Use that breathing. What a great pose. Inhale, one-legged mountain, bring the arms and the left knee up. And standing, foot to the ground, hands to your heart. Inhale, reach up, mountain. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, lengthen the spine. Plant the hands, step or flow back, plank. Exhale, halfway down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Tuck the toes, push back to down dog. Okay, inhale your left leg up and back in space, three-legged down dog. And now make that scorpion tail. Drape your toes down to the right as your knee lifts up. Your heels pulling in towards your sit bone, and you are strong in your right shoulder. Back right heel is pointing directly behind you, not spinning out to the right. And then you want to make sure that the front of your left hip bone is pointing over to the left wall. Next, exhale, runner's lunge, so left foot to the outside of your left hand, lizard pose. We're going to keep the back knee lifted today. Stay on your hands, or again, bring your forearms down onto the block on level 1 or level 2. Or you can work your forearms down to the ground. Now I just made a little adjustment where I took my right foot back into the right a little bit. So, you know, inside of these poses, guys, there's always these fine-tuning that you get to work with. Again, on the horizontal plane, your elbows and the inside of your left foot, the inside of your arch, are on that same horizontal plane. You could open your left toes a little to the left, letting the inside of your left hip open a little to the front. Left knee is stacked above your left heel. Gaze is down, crown is reaching forward, or your head is more relaxed. And all about paying attention to those hips, making sure you're not twisting forward through the right or the left, or collapsing down through the left or the right. Let's hear that breath. You got this. Nice. Press up to your hands, slide the block out of the way. Walk your left foot back in for a low lunge, and then let's rise up and find that high crescent lunge. Let your thighs pull in, lower down into it till you got a 90-degree bend in your front knee. Pull your biceps back to frame your ears, relax your shoulders on the back. And then for this baby back bend, cactus your arms, tone your shoulders in, and start to tilt the chest up. You might go a little bit lower into your lunge. Stay with your breathing. Inhale, lift up, and then press off your back foot and lift all the way up. Let's try that one more time. Press off the back foot, lift your knee up. Nice. So you're in one-legged mountain with your right knee lifted. We're going to go for that chair, that one-legged chair, figure 4. So right ankle over your left knee or thigh. Drop back to your one-legged chair. Hands to your heart, strengthen through that right ankle. And then the twist, your left hand grabs your right elbow. Find your place you're fixing your gaze. Bring your right hand to the bottom of the left foot. Make a fist with your right hand. Open palm with your left. And press that left hand into your fist. Twist the chest open. If you want to open, you can open that right arm on the outside of the foot, or rather on the inside of the foot, I guess. And left arm is reaching straight up. Nice, rise back up, one-legged mountain. Exhale, standing, awesome yogis. Inhale, breathe in mountain, lift up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Plant the hands, move back to your plank. Exhale, down. Inhale, up dog. Tuck your toes, press back, down dog. And then lower down to your knees. Drop one of your hips to the ground, bring your legs forward. And we're going to go into a seated forward fold. So, get your heels all the way up to the top of your mat. Walk your sit bones back a little bit in space. And I like to start with a little bit of a bend in my knees. My hips are rocking forward a little bit, pelvis is tilted forward. And then lift the arms up, and it's like you're doing mountain. Take a deep breath in, and then on the exhale, hinge out and dive forward. Take your hands to your feet, or if you've got a strap or some like a belt or something, you can go around your feet and pull in. You can also grab onto your shins or to the ground. And then we'll focus just on bringing some length into the low back. So on an inhale, lift your chest and gaze up as if you were on a road bike. Pull back against your feet, extend the chest forward. And then on the next exhale, refold, take your gaze down. Crown of the head is reaching forward, lengthening the spine. You can take the bend out of your knees by walking your sit bones back a little bit. You can always add a little more bend into your knees as well. Full deep breathing, my friends. Remember the very first time I did yoga and did this pose, it hurt so bad I just couldn't even go into it. And now, just as we sat and held that there, I was thinking how good it feels to be in that stretch. Okay, inhale your arms up tall, friends. Breathe in. And on your exhale, you're going to bring your palms to the ground underneath your shoulders, but your fingers are facing forward. And then you're going to let your shoulders tone in, so kind of bringing your arms in. And then lift your hips off the ground, walk your heels out a little bit, and lift your hips up in space. Okay, take your left foot and reach your left foot forward. Some nice tricep strength. You guys got it. Okay, bring your left foot down and switch it up. Lift your right leg up. Find your breathing. Keep lifting up through your hips. Stay strong. Open through your chest. Right leg comes down. One more inhale. Lift up through the hips. Exhale, lower down. Good work. We're going to make our way onto our backs. So you can plant your feet, slide your hips up, and then roll back. Once you hit your back, just bring your knees into your chest. Wrap your arms around your knees and give yourself a little rock side to side. Okay, so a couple different options. If you've got a block, we're going to go into supported bridge pose. If not, we'll set up a regular bridge. Either way, the beginning is the same. If you have a block, I just want it handy by your side. So you're flat down to the ground, head is released. Feet are to the ground and your knees are up in space. Feet are in at hip bone distance and they're on parallel. So if you had skis on, they are going down the mountain, not to the sides of the run. Reach your arms down your sides and step your heels back in until your fingers can touch your heels. And then bend your elbows at 90 so your hands are reaching up. Press your triceps down into the ground at your sides. And then lift your hips up and bring your shoulder blades in a little closer. Okay, you can hold bridge pose like this with your feet firmly to the ground. Or if you want to do supported bridge, grab the block on level 2 or on level 3 and slide the block underneath your hips, underneath your sacrum. Check that's not your low back, underneath your hips or your sacrum. And then you let the weight of the body just relax into that block. Awesome, friends. You can always change up the height of your block if you need to. Last couple rounds of breath, you're doing great. Okay, if you've been holding bridge, just vertebrae by vertebrae lower down, and then reach your feet straight up. If you're in supported bridge, you can take your hands to the side of your block and now start to reach your legs up in space. This does work on level 3, but I actually prefer it on level 2, so I'm going to move my block down a level. And then you take your hips up in space, and really it's the edge of your hips into the block and just supporting it. And you want to kind of find a comfortable area where you can lift your legs up and relax your arms. And then just roll out your ankles, move through your toes, just getting those feet up in space for a moment here. Legs can go wide, that can feel fantastic. Or one leg forward, one leg backwards. And then if you're on the block, you can bring your feet to the ground, inhale your hips off the block and slide it out of the way. Everybody, the meetup is happy baby. So peace sign fingers hook around your big toes or hands to the edges of your feet. Take your knees out wide and then stack your ankles above your knees so the bottoms of the feet are pointing to the sky. Gently pull down on this frame, pressing your low back into the ground, and just give a little rock side to side. And relax the weight of the head here. Okay, so reclined pigeon, this is going to be for your right ankle, or for your right hip. So plant the left foot to the ground, your knees up in space. Cross your right ankle over the top of your left knee or thigh, and then lift the left foot up off the ground, bring your knee in towards you, and wrap your hands around the shin or the hamstring. And we did a lot of figure 4 in the practice. This is figure 4 just on your back. Your right hand goes into the gap you've created between the legs, left hand's on the outside. Okay, strengthen your right ankle, so flexion through your foot, let your right knee gently flex forward. And then you're bringing that, hugging that knee in. And I love to rock side to side when I'm here, so feel free to do that if you like. Weight of your head is relaxed. Now, because we've already gotten quite a bit of figure 4 in, there's a great variation that is called reclined cow face pose, Supta Gomukhasana, where you want to bring the left foot to the ground and then fully wrap your right thigh around your left thigh. Imagine that you're going into like eagle or something. And then lift your legs up, and you're reaching opposite hand to the outside of opposite heel, or you're grabbing onto opposite ankle. And then you lift your shins up parallel to so that they are parallel to the ground. Find flexion in both of your feet and start to pull your heels towards the wall behind you, or pull your feet towards the wall behind you. Weight of your head is relaxed. Use that breathing. Nice, friends. And then unwind to a full morning stretch. Bring the knees in, and let's stack the knees over to the left onto the outside edge of your left hip. Reach your right arm to the right and take your gaze across your right fingertips in this spinal twist. Left hand is gently pulling down on the top and outside of that right knee. Gaze is over to the right, and relax your right shoulder towards the ground. In those exhales, you can really feel your body getting to sink deeper into the twist, release more into it. Nice. Come out of the twist, flat on your back. Just bring your knees to your chest, wrap your arms around them, and give yourself that little rock. And now figure 4, recline pigeon for your left hip. So right foot goes to the ground, left ankle over the top of the right knee or thigh, and then pick the right foot up off the ground, bring the knee into you, and gather your hands around the shin or hamstring. And continue to pull the knee in towards you. Strengthen your left ankle, find that flexion in your left foot, and let your left knee gently flex forward. You can have a little of that side to side rock. Weight of your head is relaxed and still working that Ujjayi breathing. Okay, so if you want to go into that reclined cow face pose, let the right foot come back to the ground, and then just wrap your left thigh around your right thigh. Awesome. Bring your feet up in space, and then you're going to start to take opposite hand to opposite shin or opposite heel. Lift your shins up so they're parallel to the floor, flexion through both of your feet, and then your hands pull your feet towards the wall behind you. And your low back is still to the ground, your upper back's relaxed, head is relaxed to the ground. Nice. Just release to your full morning stretch. And then your knees come in, and we're going to switch that twist out. So stack your knees over to the right, roll onto the outside edge of your right hip. Reach and extend the left arm to the left. Take your gaze out across your left fingertips. Right hand is gently pulling on the top outside of that left knee or thigh. Left shoulder is relaxing, even pressing a little bit towards the floor. And you're on to your last few deep rounds of this breath. You've been doing a great job with it. Bring your knees into your chest. Just give one more rock out, just neutralizing your spine. And then we'll move into our final resting pose, Shavasana, for a few minutes. So make yourself comfortable, and then when you're ready, simply stretch your legs out in front of you. Let the weight of the feet just relax open. Bring your arms to your sides and let the weight of your arms just relax. Close your eyes. Then let go of controlling your breath and allow your body just to take back over on the breathing. And I'll bring you out of this in just a few. Just slowly bring some life back into your body. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Take a full morning stretch. Reach your arms all the way behind you. Roll out your ankles and your wrists. And then roll onto your side, curl up into a fetal position, and just take a couple deep rounds of breath. Our corpse posture is the homage to the end of the human journey, and this fetal position is the homage to the beginning. And then let's plug back in. So bring yourself up to a cross-legged position. Find a really powerful position here, and what I mean by that is scoot yourself to the front edge of your sit bones, so pull the flesh away or walk back. From the front edge of your sit bones, inhale your shoulder heads high towards your ears, and on your exhale, just release your shoulder heads down away from the ears on the back. Relax the weight of your hands, and you want to feel like you've got this superhero posture. It has been my pleasure to lead you through your practice. The light in me greets the light in you. Much love. Namaste. All right, amigos. Thanks so much for another awesome practice. Thanks for staying through the end of the video. Please remember to hit like and subscribe and share this video with people that you like. It means a ton. If you are in a place and you want to make a donation, I've got my Venmo ID in the description. And if not, no worries. This is my gift to you. But take care, stay safe, and I will catch you next time.